They fear truth, so we masked names, but not facts. I've been doing this for a long time. Dozens, maybe hundreds of people have walked through my door. But the man who walked in that morning, him, I'll never forget. It was 9:42 a.m. Normally, I don't start consultations before 10, but he'd insisted on calling. My secretary was panicking, said he was trembling, his voice barely audible. When the door opened and he stepped in, it took me 3 seconds to look him in the eyes. Because in those 3 seconds, something inside me shifted. He was wearing an expensive suit, but no tie. Under the jacket, nothing, no cologne. His stubble was about 3 to 4 days old. But what really stopped me was the bag he was holding. Black, soft leather. The edges were worn down and the fingerprints on the handle seemed almost etched into the material. He sat down. He couldn't lean back into the chair. He was hunched forward like he might bolt at any second. "Miles," he said. His voice was hoarse, almost swallowed by fear. "They're trying to kill me." I didn't say a word. I've heard these kinds of stories before. But this one was different. It was real. "I'm only telling you," he said. "I can't trust anyone, not even my lawyer." He opened his bag, pulled out an old, dusty hardware wallet. It was so worn, it looked like it hadn't been touched in years. My dad bought this in 2013. He got into crypto back then, never told us anything. 7 months ago, he died. Heart attack, they said, but they cremated him. No autopsy. They rushed everything. I didn't think anything of it until I found his notebook. His hands were trembling as he gripped the wallet. There were just 12 words, a phrase. It took me 2 weeks to crack it. When I opened the wallet, there was $9 million in it, Bitcoin. He'd bought it back in 2013 when it was $17,000 each. At that moment, one thing flashed through my mind. This man had touched a treasure, but it wasn't going to protect him. It was going to kill him. My brother saw it too. We found it together. I couldn't convince him to hide the money with me. He went mad. 2 days later, my car's brakes failed. I went off a cliff at the corner. 4 ribs broken. I'm alive, but by pure luck. He paused, looked me straight in the eye. "That money isn't mine. It's my father's. But no one remembers my father anymore. No one trusts me. If I call the cops, they'll just suspect me first." He took a deep breath. "I just want to live. I don't even care if that money's mine, but everyone wants it. I've lost my family, my reputation. Now they want my life." At that moment, there was a click in my mind. I knew it. If I didn't protect this man, he was going to die. I opened the notebook on my desk. I wrote his name down. Then I looked at him and said, "I'll show you how to get out of this, but we have to be careful. This fortune, it's a fight for survival. We'll win. But the first rule is this. When you leave this room, you won't be alone." His eyes welled up. For the first time, he leaned back in the chair. Maybe for the first time, he trusted someone. And that day, that hour, that minute, he became my client. Our meeting that day lasted an hour, but the words, the movements, the eye contact, they're all burned into my mind. Because now, I didn't just have a client on my hands. I had a case, one I was racing against time to solve. My first priority was to establish a secure protocol with him. I turned off all the audio recording devices in my office. I disconnected the internet. I set the security system to offline mode. Then, I asked him a question. "When was the last time you touched the hardware wallet?" He thought for a moment. 3 days ago, at the hotel. I was alone. No one saw me." I nodded. "I've got some bad news for you," I said. "You see, in this business, it's not just about what you do. Who's watching you matters just as much. That wallet? It could be a ticking time bomb now." His face shifted. I continued. 1. Never open that wallet in a place with Wi-Fi again. 2. You're giving that wallet to me now. I'm going to clone it. 3. The original will disappear, like it never existed. He looked confused. What do you mean? I smiled. It's what I do. I protect your wealth even more than you do. I then pulled out my laptop. I placed the cold wallet into a Faraday box and started cloning the device. But at that moment, my phone buzzed. A special line. The screen only read, "Watch the man." My heart raced. Only 3 people could have sent that message, and all 3 were former government intelligence officers. Right then, I made a decision. The story wasn't just his anymore. It was mine too. As soon as the cloning was done, I put the device back into his bag, turned to him and said, "Now, I'm going to hide you." He was shocked. "What do you mean?" "You're going to Istanbul," I said. "Your name is now Metin. You'll stay there for 3 months. While you're gone, I'll start erasing your name, your tax records, your property deeds, even your digital footprint." He paused. "But I don't speak Turkish." I smiled. "There's someone waiting for you there. Someone like you. They've been through the same thing. I helped them. Now, they'll help you." For the first time, he smiled. Maybe for the first time, he saw a way out. But our work had just begun. That day, I gave him 3 identities, 3 different countries, 3 different names, 3 different lives. And I told him, "You have a fortune. But that fortune isn't yours. You own it, but it owns you. We're going to turn it into freedom, from scratch, again." His eyes filled with tears. He whispered just one word, "Miles, are you really going to protect me?" I leaned in. "I'm not consulting you. I'm recreating you, and I promise we'll turn this curse into a fortune together." That day, for the first time, he cried. But not from fear, from hope. And so, this wasn't just a consultation for me, this was the life story of a man facing the dark side of wealth. We had only just begun. But that day, he chose to stop digging his own grave and chose to survive instead. My client was safe now. In Istanbul, with the help of another one of my clients, he was in hiding. I'd given him fake identities, a new life, and most importantly, I had bought him time. But things weren't that simple. Because the people after that fortune were still out there. And that fortune, it belonged to his father. It was the first time he spoke to me about his father. "Miles," he said, "my dad was an accounting manager at a company his entire life. He never lived a luxurious life. But when he died, he left me an encrypted wallet. And just this sentence, I'm leaving this to you because I never lied to you." At first, I didn't understand. But then I realized my father's life was a whole lie. He handed me the digital notes his father had left behind. I examined the documents, encrypted email accounts, VPN-enabled browsing histories, and one very strange file. Offshore, a 1979 BKZ Didad MP4. I watched that video. It was an old VHS quality recording. A desk, a dimly lit room, and 3 men. His father was there too. The conversation at the table went like this: "If this recording ever sees the light of day, our family's finished. If one of us speaks, the other 2 will end up in the grave. We don't want to steal the money. We want to keep it off the books." Then his father turned to the camera and said just one thing: "If my son is watching this video, I have a message for him. I got dirty to protect you, but getting out is up to you now. This fortune is yours, but the past is not." My hand trembled. I turned to my client. "Your father wasn't a mobster. He was the accountant for the people running him. That's why the real information is with you. You have something more valuable than money: the recordings." My client stayed silent. "So, The fortune isn't really mine? I smiled. No. This fortune isn't just money. It's a secret. The only key you have. That day, my client and I changed the plan. He wasn't going to hide anymore. He was going to fight. But just then, my phone rang. Istanbul number. I picked up. Your client's cousin has been kidnapped. The voice was ice cold. Who am I speaking to? No response, just a location sent. I turned my gaze to my client. In that moment, our eyes locked. This is no longer just a fortune, Miles. This is a war. And I nodded silently. Exactly why I took you on as my client. Because this isn't just money. This is fate. He thought it was over, but the truth was just beginning. The rest? It's just one click away. Watch part 2.